What is up, my people? JaxB.TheRipper here. So today we are doing metal around the world. We are on the country Hungary or Hungary. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to tell you guys right now, Hungarian language is probably one of the most difficult languages to pronounce. If you thought the Nordic countries were hard to pronounce, this is not any easier. And I went out with a Hungarian like in my 20s, and oh yeah, it's not an easy language to learn. It's not one of the easy, no, absolutely not. A little facts about the country. First of all, they're not Slavic. People think they are. They are not Slavic. We got that? Okay, good. Also, a tradition they have, I think the Romanians have this too. I might be wrong, so don't come at me, Romania. But apparently when the bride gets married, a Hungarian bride I should say, at like traditional Hungarian wedding, they kidnap her and the groom has to be on a quest to find her. And it's like this whole fun and games. Meanwhile, she's really like just at a bar drinking with the kidnappers. I don't know. But they love water polo even though they're like waterlogged. Also, in case you don't know, like when it comes to US facts, a lot of like, especially in the Hollywood area, a lot of it was found by Hungarians. And as well, I believe that's the NFL team, the Browns, was founded on a Hungarian. So there's a lot of Hungarian roots for sure in the United States. So yeah, I'm just letting you know. A lot of these names I'm not going to be able to pronounce, so for sure you're going to be hearing me say like the keyboard, the singer, because I just rather not offend anybody. So the first band I'm going to talk about is Dharma. I believe it is their sound is all over the place. So they're primarily gothic metal. However, you're going to hear like a lot of 90s inspo electronic gothic industrial kind of wave here. And may I add grunge, so I guess we could also add like sludge metal to that as well, but it just sounds too grunge, to tell you the truth, to even call it that. And they're on their second singer, and they're still active. They're still active, for sure. And they've been around since 2007. Honestly, when I was listening to a couple of the albums and the songs, I really thought I was just listening to a grunge album more than a metal albums or anything. But then again, they had some songs here and there. I was like, okay, I could hear the industrial. Okay, I could hear this type of metal. Okay, I get it. Witcher. It's an atmospheric black metal band. I believe there's like 2 members only in this band, Roland and Corolla. Okay, I feel like I could pronounce those names just fine. Their recent album, I know is a lot that I saw a couple of YouTubers talk about. It's right here. I'll post it right here. Yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. You guys already know that I'm into atmospheric black metal, but what really surprised me too was the last track. It was called Piano Trio No. 2. We're very on the fact that, yeah, this is very classical based. This is very classic. Yes, I could, especially with that last track, because that last track, I've heard it before in the Chanel Fashion Show 2010. Here, I'll put like comparison. That's where I recognized it from. So as soon as I heard that last song, I was like, oh, this is Chanel Fashion 2010 Cruise. Tormentor. So this is an interesting band. So they're still around. Started in like 1986. They were kind of like Eastern Europe's like one of the most popular underground metal bands. They're primarily black metal, but eventually along the later side, they kind of turned more like experimental, extreme a little bit more. But when they go on tours, they're primarily doing like the whole black metal scene. I believe Attila, who is the lead singer, I could say that name. Yes, I could say that name. I believe he has provided vocals on Mayhem before, or to this day, and I believe they primarily only have like 3 albums and a few EPs out there. Okay, I can't say this. Thicalafalk, or Thee. Is it Thee? I should probably look up Google Translate. I don't feel like grabbing my phone.
Ez a kút, látod kiapad, ez az erdő holnap leborul, letarol a meddő butaság, hova lettél, hova lettünk.
So I believe it is just a one solo project, like a one solo man project, and he is remarkable. So Tomas, that's his name, Tomas. I know Tomas, so I know that. I think I've learned how to say the name Tomas in like 4 different languages. Obviously, like I learned both English and Spanish at the same time because of my parents, so Tomas. And then because I'm such a Nightwish fan, Tuomos. So he does everything: guitars, vocals, synths, bass, drums, everything, right? You do hear a lot in his albums, a lot of like the Eastern European or probably even Central European instruments in there that they're familiar with. Now, you're probably gonna, like, I can't tell you the name of the instruments because I don't know what instrument. I'm gonna say maybe the clarinet, I'm not sure. I don't want to say the balalaika. Pretty sure I butchered that, but I don't know. I don't want to say that. I've heard of that instrument before, how it sounds and everything. Here's the thing. The reason why I know the sound of Eastern European, because there was this one guy, I've been out with a couple of Romanians and Hungarians, okay? So there was this one guy, loved listening to Bulgarian, Romanian music. I'm not talking about the metal side, but he loved that culture of music. So that's why when I listen to this band, I recognize these instruments because they're very, very Eastern Europe. Yes, I know those instruments, like, for sure. I just don't know the name of what it could be, but I recognize those instruments. I'm like, and I love this because, so you hear the folkiness, you hear the black metalness, and then it's like avant-garde. So, and he wanted to stay away from the black metal. Not stay away from the black metal, but from when I was doing the research, he does love black metal, but he didn't want to do that whole chest pounding sound like that everybody has, right? He wanted to go towards another direction and make it more avant-garde, and I love this style. I love that you can hear the culture. I like that you can hear the metal. It's just an expansion of a horizon of metal in here, and it's very lively. It's like very, yes, you can hear the sorrowness of black metal, but there's like an alive triumph to it. It's Catavirs. Okay, that's an easy one to say. This is another band that's also big in the underground world throughout like Eastern Europe as well, and probably even Central Europe as well. But they started in 2005, and I believe they set their live set based on the legacy of like Catavirs de Tortugas. Okay, in Spanish that means turtles, but I'm pretty sure in Hungarian it means torture. It's just in Spanish, torture is tortura. So yeah, I'm just like, I know my languages are here getting mixed up. Also, if you're Hungarian and watching this, I'm sorry, my Spanish accent's gonna come out. I'm sorry. There's also a lot of new metal in it though, but I do see the groove metal in this band. I know they're very widely praised too, and they do give like really good live performances as well. It kind of gave me more like Avenged Sevenfold, Orange County prog rock. That's what it gave me. Catavirs de Tortuga. Okay, they split up in 2005. This for sure, I probably should have looked in if one of the members went to the other band. I should have looked researching that. Their earlier work was more on the thrashy side for sure. Kind of almost sound like the traditional, you know, Bay Area kind of thrash metal. But then they eventually moved on more to the new metal side. And they have a total of 5 full-length albums, I should say. For Silence, okay, so it was formed by the keyboardist player of Seer Bliss. Goes by the name Winter. The album he made, Philosophy of Winter, is just very like immortal Norwegian inspired. Like you could really hear the immortal Norwegian black metal. I was like, I gave it its own subgenre. Wow. So, but yeah, you could basically hear that. That's like the best way I could describe it. It is a very slow to mid-pace kind of album as well. So if you ever hear it, you don't expect it to go super fast or like anything like that. Songs are like around maybe 6 to 7 minutes long. But yeah, it was a pretty good album. I segue to Seer Bliss. Seer Bliss, they began like around in 1992, so basically closely relations to Forest Silence. Just they're more aggressive, it has folk metal in it. They are more maybe also on the melodic side too, and they are widely known very well throughout the Eastern European. They have gone through a few lineup changes too, I noticed that with the band. Now, Ectomorph. Groove metal blended with thrash metal. This band was good. I loved it. Especially their last album I was listening to, Heretics, I believe it was called. Why did I not write down the name? But okay, but I'm pretty sure it was called Heretics. It was very Sepultura vibe. Very Sepultura. That's the best way I could explain that. Lyrics are like without no mercy. You could the guy was already talking about like he was going through some stuff, you know. And then also what I loved is how they're like aroma culture. If you never looked into the aroma culture, look into it and look with the stuff that they have to deal with. Again, because I dated someone who came from that background. Very interesting, especially if you grew up Latina like I did. You heard about Gitanos, so you know, look into it. But that's what I love, that it's incorporated in this music, the culture, the anger, the fuck you in your face, you know. They have a lot of albums too. I forgot, oh my god, where's the note? I think they're like 11 albums they have. And they're still touring to this day. So it's a very well-known band, I believe, out of Hungary. More on the mainstream, not mainstream side, but you know, it's more spread out and definitely like, you know, outside of Europe, the band is widely known too. Anyways, that's it, you guys. Thanks you guys so much for watching. The next country up is going to be El Salvador. You guys voted for El Salvador, basically, when I was doing the poll on Instagram. So yay. Oh, and one more thing. Salud. See you guys in the next video.